The color of your skin is obviously different than it was when you were younger.
There is no such thing as skin bleaching. I have never seen it. I don't know what it is.
Well, they used to have those products growing up. I used to hear, always use bleach and glow, but you'd have to have about 300,000 gallons to...
Okay, number one, this is the situation. I have a skin disorder.
Let's just go down to George Hamilton. What, is that just a special friendship?
Yes.
No kissy-kissy?
Why, you cheeky bugger.
Have you ever felt this way before? Were you silent or were you silenced? Did you have to groom her? Did she always have this body? This is unbelievable. Stand up just a moment, because no one saw you come in standing up. Now, this is what I call a body. What do you think is most misunderstood about Michael Jackson, Liz?
He is the least weird man I've ever known.
From being too invasive to saying straight up rude things to guests, here's our list of Oprah Winfrey red flags exposed on camera. Now, one interview that's awkward to look back on is the one that she did with Michael Jackson. It was his first interview in 14 years, and he used the opportunity to dispel rumors and explain the changes in his lifestyle and appearance. Michael said that his noticeably and gradually lightening skin wasn't the result of cosmetic and elective skin bleaching, but an effect of a genetic skin disease called vitiligo. But one thing that he refused to discuss with Oprah was his love life. He claimed to have been dating Brooke Shields, and Oprah flat out asked him some very personal questions. "I'm a gentleman, that's something that's private," he said. "You can call me old-fashioned if you want, but to me that's very personal." Oprah then sensationalized a legal proceeding that Michael was going through, and his brother Randy Jackson came out and claimed that Oprah was airing episodes related to his brother's trial in 2005 to make him look bad in the public eye. Randy said that he believed that Oprah wanted to see Michael in jail. Now, apparently when Michael saw this, it was the last straw for him. It was then made clear that Oprah could not and would not be trusted again. But then after Michael passed away, Oprah was given access to Michael's former home after being granted an interview with his mother Catherine and his 3 children. Now, many people in the Jackson family were aware of Michael's distrust in Oprah, and they didn't want this interview to go through. Now, they especially disapproved of Oprah being allowed to film inside his home and conduct his kids' first ever interview, as Michael didn't like his kids being in the public eye. A source at the time said Janet is furious. She thinks Oprah took advantage of Michael's for TV ratings. Janet told her Michael would be heartsick that Oprah used his kids as pawns. They also said the 2 women had a blistering blow-up during a telephone call on the day that the show was taped. When Oprah made it clear that she was going ahead with the interview, Janet screamed, "Oprah, you make me sick." Now, other family members of Michael have spoken out about their disdain for Oprah, but she didn't care. All she wanted was high ratings, which is honestly just gross. Then there was the interview with Elizabeth Taylor in February 1988. Now, back in the day, Elizabeth was a huge star, but at this point in her career, a lot of people were focused on her love life. Why? Well, it included 7 marriages to 6 different men at that point. And yes, she married, then divorced, then married and divorced the same man over again. Now, when Elizabeth was a guest on Oprah's show, she had one rule, that Oprah was not allowed to ask her about her love life at all. But Oprah decided to ignore this and asked Elizabeth about her relationships. Elizabeth hit back though, saying that it was none of your business, and gave Oprah a cold stare. Which, honestly, good for her. Now, this was then a turning point for the interview, as Elizabeth had no interest in it. According to Oprah, after that, her responses were short and tense, making for bad, boring, and hostile television. Now, at one point, Oprah tried to cut the tension by quipping, "You're so revealing, you just tell everything. I declare you've got to stop talking so much, Miss Taylor." Now, I can see what she was trying to do here to try to bring the mood up, but it didn't work and it made things worse. Now, this interview was just awkward. Oprah then explained that before the interview, the actor asked her to stay away from questions about her relationships, and Oprah said, "That's kind of hard to do when you're Elizabeth Taylor and you've been married 7 times. Now, Elizabeth called this the worst interview of my life, and she later apologized, citing hip and back pain as the reason for her mood. But hey, I don't blame her for acting that way. She said she didn't want to talk about it, and Oprah ignored that and disrespected her. I think Elizabeth could have been even ruder to her, and hey, maybe she deserved it. Then there's a time Oprah pretty much objectified a young Cindy Crawford. Cindy and elite model management founder John Casablancas were interviewed on Oprah's show in 1986. During the segment though, Oprah had the young model stand up so the audience could see her body, which honestly feels extremely weird. Now, reflecting on the encounter 37 years later on Apple TV's Plus The Supermodels, in the moment I didn't recognize it, and watching it back I was like, oh my gosh, that was so not okay, really, especially from Oprah. Then there was the time in 1996 when Robin Williams and Nathan Lane did a joint interview to promote The Birdcage. During the sit-down, Oprah brought up potential rumors about Nathan since he played an openly gay character in the film. Now, at the time, he wasn't ready to discuss publicly, so Robin quickly changed the subject by making a joke. Now, on a 2023 episode of Sunday Sit Down with Willie Geist, Nathan said, "I don't think Oprah was trying to out me, but I said to Robin beforehand, I'm not prepared. I'm so scared of going out there and talking to Oprah. I'm not prepared to discuss that I'm gay on national television. I'm not ready." And Robin said, "Oh, it's alright, don't worry about it. We don't have to talk about it. We won't talk about it." He then said that Robin sort of swoops in and diverts Oprah and goes off on a tangent and protects him because he was a saint. And good thing he had Robin with him, as that was not a real appropriate question for Oprah to ask. Another time Oprah's been called out for not being sensitive was when she did an interview with Dolly Parton in 2003, and it has resurfaced with people questioning the star and her interview tactics. Now, some people have questions about what Oprah was asking Dolly, how she was asking, and what exactly her goal was by probing her for personal information. In a first video, Oprah asked Dolly how she's able to look so good for her age, and Dolly gives a funny answer. Oprah presses harder though, noting that Dolly has been open about having cosmetic work done. It seems like Oprah was trying to have a gotcha moment to throw Dolly off and make her uncomfortable, but Dolly rolls with the punches and admits to it. Now, Dolly even says she'll probably continue going under the knife, and some people are pointing out that Oprah looked disappointed that Dolly flipped it in her favor. Now, a second clip from that same interview has popped up as well, and Oprah dives right into a heavy subject, saying she heard Dolly fell into a huge depression at age 40. Now, she doesn't really approach the topic with any sensitivity, and that's rubbed people the wrong way. And one of the most prolific examples of Oprah being insensitive is when a young Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were on her show. At the time the interview took place, Mary-Kate had been hounded by the press about her weight, with intense media speculation that the star was suffering from an eating disorder. Oprah, knowing this was a touchy subject, brought it up anyways. In the interview, she says, "I know there's been a rumor that has recently surfaced that's really upset you," and Mary-Kate and Ashley were both clearly taken aback by the question, and a tense moment of silence happened, followed by Oprah saying, "You know, the one about eating." Now, Mary-Kate was so thrown by this line of questioning, she almost looked to be on the verge of tears, but her sister Ashley jumped in to rescue her. "Yeah, you know, people are going to write what they're gonna write," she says. Now, after some awkward back and forth, Oprah asked the Olsen twins what dress size they are, and they reacted uncomfortable by saying, "I don't know." It was obvious that the questions about their body were uncomfortable, but Oprah still pushed. When they said they weren't sure, Oprah hit back sarcastically saying, "Oh, you're not sure? That's so interesting." Now, later that same year the Oprah interview aired, Mary-Kate checked into a rehab facility to seek treatment for a food-related health disorder. Now, I'm sure her being asked those invasive questions didn't do any good when it came to her mental health. Now, Oprah should honestly be ashamed of how she treated those two girls. Well, that's all for our list of Oprah Winfrey red flags exposed on camera. Now, are you a fan of Oprah? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host, Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.